What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the garage for another video. In today's episode, we're gonna be working on the C10 once again. You guys can see this grill has a little bit of damage. It's dented. The truck came with an entire other grill. I don't necessarily want to swap that one on because it's a reproduction one, and all the reproduction ones do not have the Chevrolet lettering. Got to kind of have that Chevrolet lettering. It looks pretty sweet. So I'm going to attempt to remove the grill. We're already halfway done because we just swapped that front bumper. And if you guys missed that, check out the previous video on the C10 where we were working on the exterior. I just tossed on the license plate that came with the truck. Thought it looked kind of cool with the black, and that vintage license plate looks pretty cool. But I haven't fully mounted the bumper back up yet because I knew I was going to be working on the grill. So we're going to pop the front bumper back off, remove the grill, and attempt to hammer out this little bit of a dent in the grill, and hopefully we can salvage. I don't want to make it worse, definitely don't want that, but if I could make it look a little bit better, that would be sweet, because I really don't want to go to that other grill. I'd much rather stick with this grill. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and undo the 92,000 screws that hold this grill in. Let's get started. Okay, note to future self, just undo the hood latch bracket here. It'll make your life a lot easier. I didn't realize, but there were two more little bolts there and there that were still attached, and it made my life an absolute living heck. I could not get this thing off. It was pinched, it was binding, it was bending. I probably did more damage to the grill than originally, but it is off. This grill is actually in pretty good shape considering. Normally this stuff is completely disintegrated, so when I take it out I need to be very, very careful. There's only a few places where it's broken, right here and then right here, and I think that's actually it, which is crazy. So the honeycomb is in pretty good shape, so we want to keep that way, but we do need to remove it so we can get to the damage, which is the bend right there. We're also going to actually remove this. Got that off, and then we can continue working on this truck. It looks so bizarre with that grill off. That's crazy. Okay, here we are, guys. We've broken it down all the way to just the grill, just the aluminum grill. And here is the damaged portion. It's right here between the O and the V. We need to somehow bend this back out, and we're going to gently, very carefully try and massage this metal back into place. Got a hammer, a couple blocks, a couple soft cushions, and we're going to try and very carefully get this back to where it is. At the very least, I want to at least pop this back out, like the R and the O, or the R and the V. Try and pop this back out. We're going to be very careful And if it doesn't work, then we're just going to kind of leave it, because again, I don't want to make this worse than it is. It's not super bad, but we would like to get it as close to as possible back to OEM finish. So here we go. Okay, so we're gonna start out as carefully as possible. Got a piece of foam there. I might try just hammering onto that, or maybe this block underneath the foam. Hammer that. If that's not enough to get it to move, we'll start to increase how aggressively we get with this, but trying to maintain being as careful as possible the entire time. So let's get started and see how this goes. Try this. Alright guys, check it out. It probably doesn't look like crazy good, and it's probably hard to see on camera. And I know this is still kind of rough, but I was able to get it like 100 times better. I did manage, like this was significantly creased in, and this is kind of at the bend of the grill. It goes this way and this way. It bends off of here. This is like the axis. And right there was a significant bend. I was able to get that to pop out along with the significant dent that was right here. I was able to get that nearly completely smooth. Now, I don't have excellent body work hammers or anything like that, and I'm not a professional, so you can kind of see this. It's not going to be perfectly smooth, but it is level, which is exactly what I want. Like if I put my thumb down right here, like I don't feel any elevation increase or decrease. Like it just feels like one constant plane. So I'm super happy with how I was able to get that to pop out. I probably could go ahead and do more work on it, but again, I don't want it to get worse than it was, and I have made some pretty significant improvements that I am happy with. So this grill is looking a lot better. Super happy with how it turned out. Let's go ahead and get this back on the truck. I am thinking, however, while I have the grill out, I may want to make some repairs to this and clean it up and get it looking better. I think I want to try and glue this part here and here that is broken, along with maybe spraying this with a fresh coat of matte black. I am concerned about it. It may look a little off with the old rusty truck vibe that we have going on with the C10, but I think this would look a lot better with a nice matte black finish on it. But I will think about that for a second, but I am 100% wanting to glue this together, so we will go ahead and bust out the epoxy, see if we can get these joints here glued back together before we throw this back in the truck. Okay, so we're gonna flip it upside down here, give us good access to the joints. And a little tip and trick for when you are epoxying: epoxy takes about 5 minutes to set. So I'm actually going to do a little trick I like to do, which is throw some super glue on there. That way I can get it to set up exactly where it wants to go before applying the longer set time epoxy. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, the sun went down quick last night, so we are starting on day 2, working on the front grille of the C10. We've got this egg carton plastic portion of the grill out, ready to receive some paint. We're gonna toss some flat black on there, and hopefully it doesn't look too out of place with the rest of the rustic truck. It shouldn't. It's kind of tucked up under there. Honestly, this is just going to clean this up very well because we have a little bit of fading, and I'm going to need to cover that glue, even though I was careful and made sure it wasn't visible. Speaking of the glue, checking it out here, it looks super solid. It glued up very nicely, and this is actually a very nice insert These are usually pretty trash. This one happens to be in good shape, so we're good to go there. Got the grill. We hammered out the dent last night. It is looking a lot better than it was. There is this one, but there's not much I can do about that until I get like some better bodywork tools. Overall, this is looking very good, a lot more smooth, so that's sick. So we're gonna get this painted. Hopefully it dries quickly today. It's gonna be a warm day, and then we can get this back together and wrap up this video. Let's go. I decided to pop out the headlight housings here because the one on the driver's side had some rust on it. And so tips and tricks, I've said this before in some of my videos, but if you actually use tin foil on any metal object, kind of like this, like a polished metal, it actually will take the rust off. So I used to have a ton of rust around each of those screw holes. I was able to take it off. There even was a bunch at the bottom of this headlight housing. Took it right off, and then I'm going to clean this up, obviously, and then I'm going to clean the grill as well before I get it back on the truck. Another trick you can do when you're trying to restore hardware like I am, put them in a piece of wood or a 2x4 like I have here. It makes it not only easy for cleaning them and sanding them down, but also it is way more efficient painting them this way, where you can just buzz a nice little line of paint right across there. Saves way more paint, and it's way more easy to paint this way, so definitely a good way to go if you're trying to restore hardware. Okay guys, it is finally time to start reassembling this front end. It has been a long couple of days working on this front grille, but it is starting to look nice. However, I have decided that once the grille is back on the car, I'm definitely going to want to go ahead and metal polish it. I did a little bit of tinfoil sanding, and that did make it look better, but I think the polishing is going to be best. I used tinfoil sanding on a couple spots where the rust had kind of gotten on it and kind of sat on the metal. On the aluminum, but I took that off with the tin foil. Now I'm kind of wanting to go ahead and polish the whole thing out. Once it's back on the truck, it'll be easier anyways once it's on the truck. But let's get this thing reassembled. Grill's looking good, the aluminum's looking good, so let's get this thing put back together. Alright guys, grill is all back together. It's right down there. Not going to show you the whole thing. Kind of want to unveil it at the end when we toss on the truck. But that's what we're doing next, is we're getting it on the truck. So let's go. Alright guys, we just got the grill back on the truck. You saw that. Man, I'm just sweating up a storm out here. It's pretty warm. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this front grill. It looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It honestly transformed the look of the front end of this truck. It looks so good having that grill nice and black. And also, I've got that spare grill. It has black headlight housings. I'm gonna respray those black because right now there's none of these on there, and so it just has the dark background around the headlight, and it honestly looks really good. So I'm considering spraying fresh coat of paint on those other black ones and tossing those on the truck and seeing how I like those, and then I can kind of go back and forth. It's nice that I have two pairs so I can kind of see which looks best. But let's wrap up this front end. All right, guys, we just wrapped up the front grille on the C10. Man, it looks so good having that nice, crisp matte black inside of there on the grille. I am definitely wanting to do these in black, though, so stay tuned for next episode where we're going to paint the other housings that I have black, toss those on there, see how they look, and then I'm also probably going to be polishing the grille in that next video as well. So that's what you can look forward to on the channel here in the garage. Thanks for watching. Peace.